Welcome back, folks. It's good to have you with me today. It is time for the fourth episode in our little 55 grain full metal jacket test series here for 223. We've tested Hodgdon Varget, we've tested CFE 223, we've tested H335, and the test powder for today is IMR 3031. Now this powder's on the faster side of the spectrum. Our velocities are going to be down just a touch today. But the previous video we did, I think we did a Hornady and Bob's Bullets test with this powder recently, and they shot pretty well. So, well, I should probably cover the bullets first. This is episode 4. Do I need to do the whole spiel? Can I shorten this a little bit? Let's shorten it just a little bit. We're testing 5 different bullets. Here they are in all of their glory. We've got the Hornady. We've got the Bob's Bullets from 223bulkbullets.com. We've got the Everglades version 2. They have like 4 versions. This is the version 2. We've got the RMR from Rocky Mountain Reloading, and we've also got this crazy Lapua flat base bullet that we're testing as well. The first 4 are very affordable. You can get them in bulk for like 8 cents a piece. The Lapua is crazy expensive and doesn't really belong in this test, but you know, whatever. There it is. So the test format we've been following is to test each of these bullets at 2 different overall lengths. We want to test them at full magazine length, 2.260, and we also test a second overall length where the cantilever matches up with the case mouth. Now the short rounds where the cantilever matches up, we give it a light crimp. The longer rounds, we don't crimp. That's kind of been the test plan we've been following. Here are the 5 overall lengths we've been shooting for the short version. All of the long ones are 2.260, and then these 5 overall lengths are what we shoot for the short test. Now, deciding on what charge weight to shoot today was a little bit of an adventure, because if you consult the Book of Armaments and look at what Hornady says is max, see, they show a max charge with this powder and their 55 grain full metal jacket of 22.8 grains. Now, back to the previous videos we did with this powder, we shot all the way up to like 24 point something grains. The Hodgdon and IMR website shows a higher max charge. So a lot of conflicting data here with IMR 3031. But like I said, in previous videos, I think we basically ended up jamming as much as we could into a case, lightly compressing it, and we didn't blow our face off. But for this test, I want to back it down to a level that's a little more sane. We're going to shoot 23.1 grains. Now, our previous 3 videos with our other 3 powders in this series have been up around that 3,000 feet per second range out of my 18-inch white oak armament barrel. Today, we're down around 2850. But that's good, right? We're testing something different. We're throwing something different at our lineup of bullets. Maybe one of them will really like being shot a little bit slower than the others. I don't know, man. All I'm saying is I'm not going to shed a tear because we're not shooting crazy smoking fast velocities today. It's not always about that. Now here's one problem. As you might notice, this is an empty box. I ran out of Hornady bullets. I've got some more on order, so do not fear. But at least for today's video, I only had 4 or 9. So one of our Hornady groups today is going to be a 4-shot group instead of a 5-shot group. I hope you'll forgive me. Let's see, primers, we're shooting the CCI number 41 primers, just like we have in all the other videos. Brass, we are shooting Starline 223 brass, just like all the other videos. And it's all rather redundant. So why don't we just go ahead and hop into it, head out to the range, and let's shoot our first 5 groups. These are at the short overall length. Okay, folks, time to see if IMR 3031 will shoot. This is our gun. As you can see, we're shooting off a bipod and a rear bag. This is a Palmetto State Armory upper that I put an 18-inch white oak armament SPR barrel in, which is made for a good shooting setup. I'm using a Silencer Co. Omega suppressor, a Magneto Speed V3 chronograph, a LaRue MBT trigger, and a 20-round Lancer magazine. So let's see if this guy will shoot. Okay, we are starting with the short rounds. First up is Hornady at 2.210 inches of overall length. This is our 4-shot group, right? We ran out of the Hornady bullets, so it is what it is. 4-shot group, let's see how it does. Okay, next is the Bob's bullet at 2.215 inches. Okay, next is the RMR at 2.200 inches. Okay, next is the RMR at 2.240 inches. Okay, the Lapua at 2.244 inches. All right, first of all, let's look at the velocities. I think earlier I said they were going to be about 2850. Actually, 2810 up to 2849, kind of in that, lower 2800 sort of range. We did have some halfway decent standard deviation numbers. The Hornady, the RMR, and the Lapua had halfway decent standard deviations, but the Bobs and the Everglades had a 41.4 and a 34.1, which is not good at all. So we're still kind of chasing that whole standard deviation situation. The numbers haven't been good in any of these videos. So let's look at the groups. This is certainly better than the last video. Our best group was with the Everglades at 1.062 inches. We've seen that a lot. I guess in 3 out of the 4 videos with the short overall length, I think our best group has been with the Everglades. This guy just shoots well short, and that's a good thing. I like being able to seat my bullets down to the proper length and crimp the case mouth into the cantilever and, kind of use them the way they're supposed to be used. And the Everglades really seems to like that and seems to give consistently better performance over the Hornady, the Bobs, and the RMR. Yep, so here at the short overall lengths, they're all kind of okay, right? They're all between an inch. What was our biggest one? I guess RMR was 1.541. The Lapua was 1.63. The Lapua continues to just be bizarre. You never know when it's going to shoot a good group or when it's going to shoot a bad group. But at least our 4 main test bullets, our cheap bullets, they all shot halfway decent, inch and a half, but nothing to write home about yet. So let's head back to the range and let's shoot them at the long overall length and see how those do. Okay, so it's time for our long rounds. These are all going to be 2.260. And first up is Hornady. All right, I like that one. Okay, next is the Bobs. Okay, next is the Everglades version 2. Okay, next is the RMR. Okay, last is the Lapua at 2.260. Okay, so the groups are a little bit better than our last video with H335, but still, you know, nothing super awesome. Let's get back to the bench and talk this out. All right, so if we start out with a look at the velocities again, you know, right there between 2800 and 2850, similar sort of range. And I find it interesting that, okay, the Hornady, the RMR, and the Lapua all had good standard deviations again. It was the same way with the short rounds, and Bob's and Everglades both kind of have pretty crappy standard deviation numbers. So that trend at least seemed to continue here to our second batch of groups. And speaking of groups, the Hornady, holy moly, 0.447 inches. Excellent, excellent group. And if we go back to the previous video with this powder, where we had shot some of the Hornady bullets, it really liked this powder in those videos as well. So it seems like IMR 3031 and the Hornady Full Metal Jacket Bowtail is a killer combination, especially when we stretch out this overall length. The Bob's bullet tightened up a little bit, 1.237 inch group, which was better than the 1.5 inch group it shot at the shorter overall length. So huge improvement with the Hornady, and a little bit of improvement there with the Bobs once we lengthen this overall length. Now the Everglades, like, you know, 4 of the 5 shots are trying to group there, but that one guy kind of screwed it up a little bit, but it kept our trend going where the Everglades likes to be shot short. Here it is again. The Everglades actually opened up here at the longer overall length, 1.462 inch group when compared to the 1 inch group it shot, you know, when it was shorter. So pretty good stuff there from those 3. Hornady, Bobs, and Everglades looking pretty good here. RMR was ugly, 2.488 inches. That's gross. And it was kind of spraying them all over the place here, wasn't it? So for the 4th video in a row, RMR just disappoints. So at least at the overall lengths we're testing, we definitely have not found what the RMR likes. Maybe in the next video we'll try something. I don't know what we could do, because the position of its cantilever, so we shoot it in the short test, we shoot it at 2.240, and then the long, of course, is 2.260. So we don't have a lot of range there to mess with. I guess we could seat it even deeper. I could have a look at that ogive and see maybe we could go ahead and seat the cantilever down into the case a little bit. Maybe if we shorten it up, maybe it'll be like an Everglades where we shorten the overall length and the groups tighten. I don't know. It's worth a try now, because at this point the RMR is just not impressing me at all. And speaking of not impressing me, the Lapua here shot a 1.102 inch group at the long overall length. So its performance today was pretty disappointing overall. It's not living up to that crazy price tag. So that's pretty much it for today. I'm not sure where we'll go next. I haven't picked out a powder yet. So if you guys want to throw out some more ideas of what powder I should test next, feel free to do that down in the comments section. Maybe we'll go way out in left field. Try one of the super slow powders, like the ones we've been, you know, testing with and having luck with over in the Mark 262 series with 77 grain bullets. I mean, I guess we've tested CFE 223, and that's certainly on the slow side of things. And Hodgson Varget was on the slow side of things a little bit. I'll tell you what, I think next we'll test AR comp. Yeah, I'm feeling AR comp. I'm not sure. But that will not be our next 223 video. I'm going to switch over. I'm going to do at least a Mark 262 video with the 77 grain Sierra Match King. I want to do a video with the 75 grain Hornady Bowtail Hollow Point. I've shot a few of those on the channel here, but I've never really properly given them their own videos and tested some stuff, so I want to do that. I've kind of got a couple other odds and ends I want to clean up here. You know, some other bullets that are getting neglected in our recent 223 work, because we've kind of been focusing on the 55 grainers and then also the 77 grain Sierra Match King, and there's more to life than just that, right? And I also really kind of want to squeeze in some 223 stuff here, because pretty soon it's going to be 224 Valkyrie season, and with all of the 30 caliber and 6.5 millimeter stuff we got going on, like it's a lot of cartridges to try and cover, so I'm afraid that, you know, some of the 224 Valkyrie is going to be stealing a little bit of time from the 223 world. So I want to jam in a bunch of videos here before we get into that. So I'm rambling, and that means it is time to end this here video. I appreciate you joining me today. If you'd like to help support my channel, come to patreon.com/reloading, and I'll see you guys next time.